Hey, everybody! What's going on? Today's Sunday. What are you doing? You're sleeping? You're out drinking a beer? I don't know. It's Sunday. Today's April 14th, 2024. It's like 70 degrees out here today. It's kind of nice. And what am I doing? I'm sitting in my crypt, pitch black, except for that light, and making a video. All right. So today, a little something different. I don't know. But when people ask me to like, hey man, what are your like all-time favorite bands? And then I'm like, well, we got to break this down. Are you talking about jazz? You talking about rock? You talking about rock? What are you talking about? So if you're asking me my favorite metal bands, right off the top, my three favorite in this order: Sabbath, Priest, Maiden. Top three. And then it's followed by, you can go AC/DC, Rush, Scorpions, and everybody else falls underneath. AC/DC is usually four. But yeah, Sabbath, Priest, Maiden. Right off the top. You throw Saxon in there as well. Probably after AC/DC. I don't know. I never really made up an order. But today, I had a brilliant idea of Sabbath, Priest, and Maiden, who did their number 4 album best. Ooh, interesting, huh? Yeah, let's go over that today. And I thought about this the other day, and I was like, and I don't know how it came into this brain, but I just thought of it. I was like, wow, that'd be a really good discussion, because there really is no wrong answer to it. But you never know, man. Some diehards will fight to the end. Oh, it's this, it's that. Whatever. So I want to get into this, all right? Who did their number 4 album the best? Sabbath, Priest, or Maiden? All right, so let's get into this, shall we? Starting with Sabbath, the Mighty, Volume 4. To me, this, like I've said in my Sabbath video, like this and Sabotage are probably my tied for number 1 as my favorite Sabbath album, kind of like Let There Be Rock and Powerage are tied for number 1 in my AC/DC favorites. Then, there is no right or wrong when it comes to the Ozzy years. You could say Never Say Die is your favorite. I'd be like, yeah, I can see why. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But this album to me is just amazing, all right? This was, Sabbath's fourth album, released September 1972. It's about 42 minutes long. Self-produced, basically, by the band. They were going to have this other producer, but it didn't work out. Originally, this was supposed to be called Snowblind. But Vertigo, their album people at the time, the record label was like, nah, man, you can't name it Snowblind, a reference to cocaine. Can't do it. Fourth album, blah, blah, blah. Let's just call this Volume 4. You got the iconic Ozzy on the cover. And in the back. Now, I have many copies of this. This was my original, which did not have the book in the middle. You know what I mean? But I have like 6, 7 copies of this, and I have the one with the book in the middle, but this one didn't have it. So basically, yeah, Volume 4, recorded in Bel Air Mansion out in California. Couple things, like little side notes, like Bill Ward had a real problem recording the song Cornucopia. He just couldn't, the changes, he just couldn't get the changes down. And what's kind of funny is if you listen to Cornucopia and if you listen to Maiden's Where Eagles Dare, that rhythm is pretty identical. You know what I mean? That when you got time, put them on and listen and let me know what you think. Yeah, recording in Bel Air Mansion. The mansion was owned by this guy, John DuPont, who I think owned like a paint company, like spray paint, stuff like that. And during the recording sessions, Sabbath, these guys were abusing substances, all right? And at one point, Bill Ward had passed out on the floor naked. So, Sabbath, Iommi, these guys, being practical jokers, they found a bunch of gold spray paint cans, and they sprayed Bill. They sprayed him up, man. Now, you can't do that because the paint gets into your pores, and you got to be rushed to the damn hospital. So that was one thing they screwed with him. Other side notes, Iommi was walking around the mansion. They found a piano, and he basically sat down and taught himself to play the piano, and they came up with the song Changes. Ozzy heard Iommi playing, and he went over and he started humming over the melody line, and Geezer wrote the lyrics, and supposedly it's about Bill's breakup with his wife at the time, going through changes, So it's kind of like, that sad song. And what else? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that went on with this, but, solid album, man. Let me show you the original vinyl. Nothing fancy. This was on the NEMS label. You know what I mean? The usual. I mean, it kicks off with Wheels of Confusion. I mean, every song on here is just killer, man. Wheels of Confusion, great song, man. Followed by Tomorrow's Dream. I mean, there isn't a song on here that I am not sick of listening to. I mean, besides Changes and Effects, which is a little sound effects, but the rest of this album is just unbelievable. You got Changes right to Tomorrow's Dream, Effects, then it goes into Supernaut, which was like Frank Zappa's favorite song, which is cool. Then we go into Snowblind, Cornucopia, Bill's Nightmare song. Laguna Sunrise, Tony didn't sleep. He was up all night, and in the morning he was just sitting there kind of playing acoustic, and the sun was coming up there in California, and he wrote that song, great song, instrumental. St. Vitus Dance, and then the great friggin' Under the Sun. I mean, this album is just unbelievable, which is why I have like friggin' 7 to 10 copies of it. All right, so yeah. Volume 4, Black Sabbath, fourth album, September 1972, 42 minutes and about 18 seconds long. All right? So, you got Sabbath. Up next, the fourth album by Judas Priest, Stained Class. Ooh. This is already like getting bloody, this battle right here, right? Stained Class, man. This was released February 10th, 1978. Couple things. Now we got Les Binks on drums, Sin After Sin basically had Simon Phillips, who was a studio drummer, and then the other two drummers, John Hinch there, that was on the earlier Priest albums, he was gone. Oh, little side note, supposedly, I don't know if this is true or not, but supposedly Priest has the rights back to Rock-A-Rolla and Sad Wings of Destiny. I don't know if this is true or not, but if it is, I hope these guys do some special editions, some box sets of something of Rock-A-Rolla and Sad Wings of Destiny. If Priest got them back, finally, thank God. I'm sure they had to dish out a lot of money to Go Records, to get those rights back. But if that rumor is true, I hope they do the right thing. All right, so back to Stained Class. We get the new logo, right? They got rid of that Gothic logo that you saw on the first few albums. Now it's more streamlined, all right? Very cool stuff. This hit 27 on the UK charts. This is 43 minutes and about 40 seconds long. So it's a little bit, a minute longer than Volume 4. This was produced by Dennis McKay. He did like David Bowie at the time and Supertramp. This was recorded in Chirping, whatever, Norton Recording Studios. They basically added Better By You, Better Than Me, the cover song, because the record company felt like the album was too dark and they wanted to liven it up a little bit. Yeah, they livened it up. Little did they know years later what was going to happen by livening this up. Should have left it alone, just let Priest write another damn original. Damn record companies always screwing shit up. This was, so another side of things. So this was produced by the guy Dennis that I said. But the song Better By You, Better Than Me, Dennis had a lead to go do other things. So they got this other producer, this guy James Guthries, who produced just the one song. And then Priest liked it so much that he produced the next one, Killing Machine, Hell Bent for Leather, whatever you want to call it. Then I think he went on and he produced some stuff for Queensryche too, and a bunch of other people. I think he was involved in like The Wall, Pink Floyd. The guy's done some heavy duty stuff. But yeah, awesome. Now this album, again, when it comes to my favorite Priest album, this is up there. It's like, don't get mad, but this and like Sin After Sin for me are tied at number one when it comes to like the Priest albums. Actually, it's like probably a three-way tie, because it's like Sad Wings of Destiny, Sin After Sin, and Stained Class. They're all like at the same level for me. You know, those are like my top 3 Priest albums that I would say are actually my number 1 album. Together. All 3 together equals 1. 3, 3, 3. It all never mind. All right. So this album is freaking great too, man. So it starts off with Exciter, right? The double bass, the drum intro, you know, unbelievable. Then we go into White Heat, Red Hot, another great song, man, Glenn Tipton. Then we go into the cover song, Better By You, Better Than Me. Stained Class, I mean, just a great freaking song, man. Then we get Invader, which was Ian Hill's, you know, little writing debut. Unless he did some stuff on rock and roll, I'm not sure. I have to check the credits. But Invaders, yeah, Ian Hill. And side 1 is just, even with that cover song, side 1 is still killer, man. I mean, just Exciter alone with the double bass, great stuff. You flip it over, boom, Saints in Hell. What a great song. Followed by Savage, you know, KK Downing's song. Then we get into Beyond the Realms of Death. Dude, what a song. I mean, you know, Halford, when that guy sings, and he sings in a low register, and then he goes high, and he's in the middle, and he hits those high pitches. I mean, that guy is just, I mean, you guys know, he's an incredible singer. It's just unbelievable. You know, then you got Tipton's soul at the end when it's picking up, and he's just wailing away. What a great song. And, you know, Tipton, he's not really shredding. You know, it's thought out. It's melodic, you know. That's just a great song, man. Great epic song. And then you got Hero's End to end this masterpiece. Unbelievable. Great freaking album, man. It's just the Mighty Priest. So far, we got Volume 4, Stained Class. Now, out of those 2, which one do you think is better so far? They show you my original vinyl. Just came in a paper sleeve back in the day. Again, this is another album I have multiple copies of. All right, this was just on the CBS label. Nothing fancy, all right? You know, it's still no scratches, no nothing. Right now, if you notice, because I don't want nobody sending in my comments, oh, your fingers are killing me. My fingers are not touching the vinyl, all right? My palms are. And when I flip things around, it's kind of like that. You know, and if I grab it, I'm grabbing it by the edge. I'm not physically touching where the needle goes, all right? Yeah, all right. Stained Class. Now, the last one we got going on here. The Mighty, 4th album by none other than Iron Maiden, which came out in 1983. So we go from 72 to 78 to 83. Peace of Mind. Oh yeah. Iron Maiden's 4th album. This is about 45 minutes long, all right? This is the longest one out of the 3 so far. This was released on May 16th, 1983. This was the introduction to Nico McBrain came in. Clive Burr was out after Number of the Beast. You know, he was on the first 3 albums. Now we get Nico. You know, again, produced by the great Martin Birch. Recorded as Compass Point Studios in Nassau, Bahamas. They recorded this between January and March of 83. You know, that was pretty quick. This hit number 3 on the UK charts and like number 14 on the charts here in America. Now, this was the first Maiden album not to be named after an Iron Maiden song, right? You had the first Iron Maiden album, then you had Killers, and then you had Number of the Beast. Now, the only reference to the album title here is in the song Still Life when Bruce goes, and give me peace of mind, you know? But that's it. First one not to be named after a song. We got some cool singles off of this. We got the cover songs of I Got the Fire by Montrose and Cross-Eyed Mary by Jethro Tull. And those 2 songs were great. I mean, I still love the way Maiden did those cover songs back in the day. You know, they put them on the B-sides of their 12 inches. You got the 7-minute song To Tame a Land on here, which was supposed to be named Dune, but when they tried to get the rights from Ron L. Hubbard, I mean, whatever the guy's name was, Frank, whatever, who did the movie, he was like, nope, I don't want no metal band using my book title for, you know, a song. Little did he know, you know. Anyway, I want to upset you Dune fans, all right? I saw the first one of those. I don't know, it kind of put me to sleep. But, and then you got Revelations by Bruce Dickinson. You know, his first writing credit alone on this album. You know, he couldn't do anything with Number of the Beast because he was still under contract with Samson or whatever was going on then. All right. Again, a solid album. You got Volume 4, you got Stay in Class, and then Peace of Mind. And right off the bat, introduction by Nico. Boom, the drum intro to Where Eagles Dare. All right, you got the drum intro to Exciter and the drum intro to Where Eagles Dare. Ooh. Then we got Revelations. Great song, man, excuse me. You got Flight of Icarus. That was the first video on MTV. I think I actually saw that before the album came out. And I was like, whoa, that's the new drummer. Whoa, what a great song. They're in the studio. Great video. I still love that video. Then you got, the Die With Your Boots On. Another cool song, man. You flip this bad boy over. And we go into the Monumental Trooper, which, at this point, it's like Kiss's Rock and Roll All Night. It's a little played out. Still a great song. Don't get me wrong, man. I don't think there's any other song out there that even sounds like the Trooper. Just the beginning riff. It's freaking phenomenal, man. Then the great song Still Life. That's a dark horse on this album. That's a great song, man. Now, here's where the little problem is for me. The song Quest for Fire. Not a fan, man. This album came out in 83, and to this day in 2024, I still try to listen to that song, and I don't know. Bruce's vocal lines, and all of a sudden they're talking about dinosaurs, and that's the only bad point for me on this album. I can't get over that song, but that's all right, because then they make up for it with Sun and Steel. Great song, man, and then The Killer, friggin' To Tame a Land, to end this bad boy. What a great way to end this album. So, yeah, man, Peace of Mind. This was the original inner sleeve that came out at the time. You got Martin Birch is in one, and then Derek Riggs, the artist, is in the other suit of armor. You got the words, and then the label, it had the brain on it. All right? You guys have seen this a gazillion times. So, there you have it. So now, which one of these three do you think is the better? Do you think it's Volume 4? Do you think it's Stay in Class? Or do you think it's Peace of Mind? Now, if you're going to ask me what I think of, if I had to rank these three, it would probably have to be the reverse order of how I showed you. I would probably rank Peace of Mind as third, Priest as second, and Black Sabbath as the first one. But yeah, man, there really is no right or wrong, because all three of these albums are just phenomenal. Like I said, there is no right or wrong. They're all freaking great. You know what I mean? But I'm interested to know what you guys think. You sit around with your buddies and ask them, hey, man, the fourth album, which one do you think Volume 4 Stay in Class? It's hard. That's a tough one. But in conclusion, they're all great albums. So that's it. I'm going to do a couple more of these things. I may pick who did the fifth album better, or who did the seventh album better. I've seen a lot of people, they do, who did the debut album best, I kind of like to be a little different. But that's it, man. Yeah, quick video, to the point. What do you think? Let me know, all right? So, as I move closer to shut the camera off, get a good look. Oh, all right. So, hey, be careful out there. Watch out for one another. It's a crazy world. All right? So, hey, peace out, buttercups. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Ha ha!